taking you through what each team was doing. Arsenal, just like how they started the season, played Saliba got hurt, playing the right center back, so Mosquera came in for him, but Gabriel was the partner there. Calafiori continues to start on the left, and Jurgen Timber, very good player on the right. Um, Zubimendi and Rice at the 6 and 8, and then they played Moreno on the as the right 8, and Noni started as the uh, right winger in place of Saka. Martinelli started on the left, which was surprising for me, a little surprising for me. And Gyökeres played up top. And again, Arsenal, how they build up in this box of the two center backs, Zubimendi and Rice. Zubimendi being the one who received the ball from them more, and they invert the two fullbacks. So they build up in this formation like this. So you know, from Raya to one of the center backs, usually to Zubimendi, and he dictates where they go, either to Rice or to Timba or Moreno, or he can find a couple times he sent Noni running to chase Kirkash on Arsenal's right. Um, but again, this is the base, so this is how we've been seeing Arsenal play this season. Gyökeres was, trying to run into the channels. Personally, I think that he didn't get a lot of service. I still think that they're not used to like playing into him. I think I remember only maybe a few times. One where I think he ran through the channel and Konate followed him and he laid it off down for Timbers or whoever. But um, Martinelli played on the left, like I said, shocking. He didn't really pretty do much really. Rice was decent. Zubimendi was again, I thought very good. But for Liverpool, again, they played just like how they played against Newcastle with Salah on the, his usual right wing, Gakpo on the left. Ekitike started up top with Verts being the 10 and not Dominic Soboslai, excuse me. McAllister playing as the 8 and Gravenberch back in the 6. Dominic Soboslai played at the right back position again, and obviously with VVD and Konate playing as their centre back pairing and Kerkesh playing on the left. And for Liverpool, they kind of played the same, actually not the same way, but same way like PSG plays or Chelsea played last season, where their right back joins into the midfield. So Dominic Soboslai was pretty much on the ball playing in this pocket, particularly in the second half, to receive the ball and join in the midfield and come back as in his right back position to deal with any threat from Martinelli or Eze when he came in. But he covered a lot of ground and he did pretty well. Won fair share of duels and obviously, like I said, scored the golazo. Um, I think that in the first half, Arsenal played very well. They won the ball back high up the field so they can, go again into Liverpool's final third shortly after they won the ball back. But I think the thing that stood out was Van Dijk really. Van Dijk really stood out for them, and also Kirkesh. Um, he had a difficult game against Newcastle, but Noni Madueke was going at him. Like he was constantly going at him, and he won the most duels out of the back four of Liverpool's back four against him. Noni beat him for speed a couple of times, and he recovered fine, and tackled for a corner. But the first half was really really tough for Liverpool, but again, I think that Arsenal entering the final third, they didn't really get they didn't really had the quality to take advantage of anything that they were trying to create. I think they had only one shot on target throughout the whole game, which was a Nani Madueke shot from a clearance from the corner, and it came in to him in the top of the box. But speaking of corners, I thought Liverpool defended corners brilliantly. They defended with all 11 men against Arsenal, because everybody knows how dangerous Arsenal are on corners. So they developed they defended, I should say, very, very well to Arsenal's aerial threat. But again, Arsenal, with all the final third entries they had, they didn't really create much. To be fair, Liverpool didn't either, but Arsenal really struggled to create more chances. And again, I feel like they are not playing a striker like um a striker like Gyökeres really, really relies on his midfield and his wingers to excel. Like if they don't like find him more often, he's just going to be non-existent. And to be fair, it's not his fault. I think that he's he's suffering from Arsenal's lack of creativity, and like lack of creativity and not being familiar playing with an actual target man. Because I can't remember when last Arsenal played with their nine. It's been a couple seasons now, so I felt bad for him. He was trying to make runs just like he did against United, just like he did against Leeds. That they finally found him, but I thought that yeah, I just felt bad for him. I just felt bad for him. But like again, like I was saying, the first half, Liverpool, I think, only had like two touches in the Arsenal box, and that was when Raya tried to find Gyökeres, and Van Dijk stepped in and won the ball. He got the first touch in the box, and McAllister also tried to shoot off that same action. And those are the only two touches that Liverpool had in the whole first half. And I believe they didn't even have a corner in the first half. So Arsenal was on top, I would say, like just had the edge a little bit in the first half, especially against Liverpool away. I was impressed to see them play like that. Then second half changed, in my opinion, when Liverpool brought in Curtis Jones for McAllister around the 60th minute. That's when everything changes, because again, Liverpool are building up, with they keep this back three for transitions, and Konate's pace can cover for Zoboslai when he's out of position. But having Curtis Jones in this channel here, I mean, McAllister tries to stay deep and receive in the pockets, but off the ball, Curtis Jones can roam into these areas and cause trouble, and that stretched Arsenal's midfield a bit, because obviously, as a midfielder, like you're very the last thing you want to play against is somebody mobile, like somebody that runs. You want your opponent to have the ball in front of you, but somebody that is moving off the ball and not necessarily going to the defender, but just staying behind you and receiving the ball in spaces behind you caused a lot of trouble. I think that created that ripple effect where Liverpool now grew into the game and started having like half chances, and ultimately like took control of the game in the second part of the second half, and they were rewarded with a wonderful goal. So again, like I said, if you play that game again, it's probably going to be a draw. But Dominic Szoboszlai, I think, I mean, he's a midfielder, but he's been putting a shift in for Liverpool last couple of games with Frimpong being injured, and it's great to see that he was rewarded with that special moment at Anfield against Arsenal. Salah had another quiet game. He hasn't been great to start the season. He scored in the first game. He had a game-winning assist against Newcastle, but I kept calling it like he's not playing well. Um, I mean, a player of Salah's quality, I expect him to figure it out and turn it around. But it's, to me, quite notably not playing well. Quite notably not playing well at all. So I wonder what tweak that they would do to get the best out of him, because obviously, I mean, Salah is the the Don Tata of the league now. But again, they got Isak now. Ekitike has been very, very good. It would be interesting to see how they do. I imagine Isak goes straight into the number 9 position, and Ekitike either battles it out with Gakpo on the left, or he just comes in and fill in wherever it's needed because Salah is probably going to start every time. Same with Isak, to be honest. So it'll probably be Ekitike or um, Gakpo. But again, if Ekitike plays on the left, Salah already playing high and not necessarily doing that much defensively. I don't know if they can afford another player to do that there as well. So um, curious to see what happens there. But obviously, big signing for Newcastle to get in Isak, and um, Ekitike has done nothing wrong, but a better, higher profile striker has come, and he's probably going to have to sit down for sure. Um, but yeah, like it was a well balanced game in my opinion. Arsenal, I thought, were unlucky to not come out of that game with something, and I know like what's his name, Peter Schmeichel was had some harsh comments for Arsenal, but I think that they did with what they had with no Saka, especially with what they had. I think they tried to go for the win. I don't know why he was so mad at how they played. Again, like I said, I was surprised Martinelli started without and not Eze. I mean, Eze had a full preseason and has played 3 games this season before that game. Has won a trophy before joining Arsenal as well in the Community Shield. So it can be lack of fitness or sharpness, but I know Mikel Arteta came out and said he's only trained 3-4 times with the team and we want to give him time. I No, I am not too mad at that response, but it should have started, in my opinion. So again, it was just one of those things. I think again, it's not a make or break um, result for Arsenal, but I think it could have been different if Eze started, in my opinion. I know, I mean, hindsight is 2020, but I think if Eze started, I think it could have been different. But yeah, it was IQ deep dive. Was a tactical game. Um, it was a balanced game. Um, what's his name? Arne Slot again has changed the game with substitutions. He's been very very strong with his substitutes since last season actually. So he did it again with Curtis Jones coming in and changing the game for them and having them regain control or gain control of the game, I should say, and they ended up winning. So shout out to Arne Slot for that little detail switch that changed everything.